In many rural regions, the boundary between farmland and forest is a fragile line where wildlife and agriculture are constantly negotiating space. Wild boars, known for their intelligence and adaptable behavior, often follow shifting food and water patterns that bring them unexpectedly close to crops. Each early morning patrol becomes a real-time study of animal movement, environmental pressures, and farm protection. Today, we follow a field team as they track fresh activity across a landscape shaped by both nature and cultivation. What seems like a quiet stretch of land reveals how quickly routines can shift, and how essential careful monitoring has become. The day began under a heavy morning fog, stretching across the borderlands between farmland and dense scrubland, the kind of weather that encourages wild boars to roam more freely. Patrol units were instructed to survey the terrain carefully, as recent signs of rooting had been reported near the vegetable terraces. The goal was straightforward: identify movement early, redirect animals safely toward natural zones, and ensure the fields remained untouched during an important cultivation period. If you enjoy these real-time wildlife patrol missions and want to support more content like this, feel free to like the video and subscribe. It truly helps our channel and keeps these field operations coming. We moved cautiously along a narrow trail lined with tall, dew-soaked grass. A faint series of hoof impressions indicated a herd had passed not long ago. The drone operator launched a small quadcopter, letting it rise above the tree line to scan for movement. Within moments, the drone relayed an alert. Several large shapes were advancing toward a ridge that led directly to the lower farmland. We formed a staggered line, using natural dips in the ground to remain low and controlled. The first sighting came near a fallen acacia trunk. A mature boar stepped out, tested the wind, and aimed itself toward the fertile soil below. Before it could descend, one ranger shifted to a higher vantage point, influencing its direction with calm, deliberate movement. The animal paused, reconsidered, and retreated into the brush. A small victory, and a necessary one, considering how fragile the young crop shoots were at this stage of the season. A few minutes later, rustling near the canal announced another group traveling together. The channel's narrow banks were an ideal place for boars to slip through unnoticed. So the team reacted by positioning themselves along both edges. Two members held the narrow front, while others circled behind a small slope to gently guide the animals away from the fields. With minimal prompting, the herd turned back toward the deeper woodland, exactly the response we hoped for. The temperature rose as the fog lifted, bringing clearer visibility and more movement. Lone boars often wandered during mid-morning, driven by curiosity and confidence. In a muddy clearing with thick prints, the team anticipated such an encounter. Standing upwind, we inched closer until a solitary animal emerged from behind a dense thicket. Its direction was unmistakable, straight toward the vegetable beds. A coordinated, non-disruptive intervention caused it to veer away without stress, reinforcing how effective controlled field techniques can be when used precisely. As we annotated the area on our tracking devices, movement from the left caught everyone's attention. Another boar had broken through a belt of dry shrubs and was pressing toward a holding paddock where livestock occasionally graze. Allowing it near the fence could trigger unwanted agitation among the animals kept there. Acting quickly, one ranger moved to a gentle rise, influencing its travel angle, while the rest lined the natural corridor without rushing forward. The boar reconsidered its route, ultimately turning back into denser foliage. Midway through the operation, while waiting for drone updates, let me remind you, if these missions fascinate you and you want to see more wildlife field interactions in action, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss our next patrol. A new transmission from the northern unit reported several animals approaching a transition zone between forest and flat farmland. This particular zone was sensitive. Past seasons had seen repeated incursions here. We approached silently, using shallow terrain dips as natural cover. The boars appeared cautious but curious, periodically lifting their heads as though searching for a route into the crop basin. Responding with meticulous discipline, the team spread across the lower ground. As soon as the animals recognized our presence, they retreated calmly toward the shaded groves. The drone confirmed their new direction, safely away from cultivated areas. To ensure no animals lingered near the perimeter, we swept the area again. The drone picked up subtle motion within a patch of dense undergrowth. As we approached, several boars stood quietly, observing the open plain below, precisely the type of terrain that can be damaged in minutes. Through practiced positioning, we encouraged them to move deeper into the forest, eliminating the risk altogether. By late afternoon, the woodland edge became noticeably livelier. Rustling leaves signaled movement through tall grass, and shortly after, a sizable boar appeared along a sloping path. Its route led directly toward a tender crop section. Without hesitation but without alarm, our team coordinated from 3 angles to divert the animal. A few measured steps from the ranger on the right flank guided it safely into a nearby thicket, maintaining both agricultural safety and animal well-being. When we reached a meadow known for attracting wildlife seeking leftover plant matter, the ground was covered in fresh tracks. As we observed quietly, a sudden burst of motion revealed a boar sprinting across the open field. With disciplined formation, the team blocked its access to the ridge leading down into the crops. It slowed, turned, and retreated without further issue. A smooth, efficient response. The sun prepared to set, and the sky turned a soft amber. Evening is a natural feeding window for boars, making vigilance essential. Approaching the final stretch of the patrol, we spotted yet another small group moving near the path. With careful direction, we guided them back toward the forest. No stress, no confrontation, just controlled movement ensuring harmony between farmland and wildlife. We returned to the transport vehicle, documenting the day's results on a field tablet. The sense of accomplishment came not from turning boars away, but from preserving a delicate balance between natural behavior and agricultural necessity. The mission was not about dominance. It was about stewardship, awareness, and preventing conflict before it could begin. As night settled, and we drove back toward the operations shed, one thought remained clear: every day brings new patterns of movement, new tracks in the soil, and new challenges, and we remain ready for each one. If you enjoyed this in-depth wild boar field patrol, and want to join us for future missions that explore nature, conservation, and farmland protection, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue documenting these operations for you.